Vodafone, The Road to Odense, Betway, MSI, Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.
And what would you know? It was easy for Ninjas in Pajamas, and moreover, it was easy for Dennis, who was boistering 117.8 ADR in that matchup. Chad, do you know what the numbers look like for that?
Gerrit was my MVP.
Cool, man. But the numbers for we're talking about Dennis.
Oh, sorry, man. Yeah, no, give me those numbers.
Yeah, yeah.
Hit me with them.
That's 26 frags, 6 assists, and 12 deaths there for Dennis. Had a lot of impact kills, too, so it's not necessarily that, you know, he was fragging out of control. We're talking about kills that matter. It's kind of like Get Right.
Yeah, well, with Get Right and Dennis' performance, they had 47 kills combined, right? They had an absolute phenomenal game here. And these are the two players that we highlighted pre-game, the Voxics of the world and the Dennis of the world. You can see sniper kills, sniper purchases for Dennis, nada. For Voxic, 3 purchases, 3 kills. That's not a very high conversion rate there.
Chad, let me turn around on its head and make your head spin even more than it does on a normal Tuesday. That's right. No player on the HellRaisers had over 74 ADR.
That's not great, is it?
That's not good at all.
It was a bit of a shellacking from the NiP side, and I think, you know, in those, when we flipped it over to that T side, that's when you really did see Get Right's impact come into fruition. You know, that famous round that he had where he found that spam kill through the smoke. He was also having those clutch where they traded off each other very well on the B bomb site in that 2-on-3 situation where they really postured for a very long time to get those bombs down. I think those are 2 very key pivotal rounds in that second half as to why it looked like such a whitewash, such a stomp coming in from the guys from Ninjas in Pajamas. But something else that I think that we need to note here, Trace, is that the force by game was actually probably done better by HellRaisers. That's where they were the most competitive. They were just losing out with a lot of the opening kills within the gun rounds.
Right. There were also a lot of instances where we're seeing Get Right and company just coming out of nowhere, pulling 4Ks through smokes, and really getting away with murder for all intents and purposes. Yeah. But I think the one true thing that we're missing here is, yes, when we look at this replay, Chad, what is the first thing you take away from it?
It's quite a big screen.
What about the second thing?
That I like Counter-Strike.
Okay, we're going to go for 3 here. Maybe you come close.
Okay. The Ninjas in Pajamas are winning.
Jesus Christ.
It's on Inferno?
Chad, here's what it is, okay? It's on Inferno, and there are 128 ticks of pain in this server. You know what that means? Playing on ESEA, you get the most tick rate, you get the most advantage with headshots, and perhaps, if you play it just right, you can even find your way into the Mountain Dew League. The surefire path onto the pros, and that is how it's done, Chad.
Yeah, we can find that? ESEA.net/MDL.
Yeah, that's exactly right. ESEA.
It's in the game.
Yeah, I don't think we can do that.
I don't know if we can do that one.
Can't really do that. But what we can do is we're going to talk a little about Mirage, the last map of the night, Chad. Let's begin to kind of center our conversation about what we think the HellRaisers lacked and why it is they had such a tough time.
I can do this very easily for everybody at home. Counter-Strike maths. You ready for this? HellRaisers, for the first game of the night on the secondary stream, beat Fnatic on Mirage.
Nice.
Fnatic beat Ninjas in Pajamas on the main stream just earlier on Mirage. So Counter-Strike maths, A plus B plus C equals HellRaisers win.
Are you saying that NiP is better than Astralis?
I'm not saying that, but
Astralis, are you saying it on record right now?
No, I'm not. Astralis on the secondary stream were losing to Wendigo, though. I didn't actually get an official scoreline. I'm sure that the casters can bring you that, as we don't have any devices in front of us to have a look. We actually have
a hard analytical team working just to our left right now. And you know what? They're trying to really put the numbers together, trying to crunch it all. But as we take a look at Mirage, that's what we have in front of us. Chad, paint me a beautiful landscape.
Well, if we want to go with the pistol rounds, which is the theme that you were getting before with the whole Mirage thing, Trace, what Ninjas in Pajamas on their CT pistol earlier in the night decided to do is play retake over towards Ticket, and they were willing to give up a lot of A territory. I'm going to see if they're going to do a similar style pistol here, because that's something that HellRaisers can look to punish again. Just run a similar strat to what was played out from Fnatic and just play that post plan a little bit better. So it's going to be curious to see if they want to run the same strategy. That's what happens when you have a lot of maps. Do you have different pistol rounds for different occasions? How much preparation have you done? There are question marks around online Counter-Strike.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, it's kind of anything goes, right? The Wild West.
Yeah, that's where you live, right?
It's the South, and it's pretty wild. But
I'm from the West in Australia. The West Coast.
I mean, it's just a little island, though, so it's not like there's a whole lot going on down there. Either way, Chad, as we begin to move further into our hardcore analysis here,
we're really
I might even tell you, the viewer at home, that we're waiting on one player to ready up.
Course.
In fact, I want you to use hashtag ESL Pro League to tell me what player it is that's holding the whole show up here, right? And let's just get it done.
Who do you think it is?
Right in their face.
You have to guess.
If I had to guess.
Do you think it's from the HellRaiser side or the NiP side?
Well, maybe one on each because, you know, I don't really know.
Well, apparently it's Freiburg. He hasn't played for these guys in some time. These are the stats. These are the stats from the first map. And you were talking about the fact that nobody had over 74 ADR on the side of HellRaisers. And when you're not able to lock it down on that CT side, which we did see, that's a fragging issue, if anything, right? Because the CTs have the advantage of position. They were getting pretty strangled as far as the economy was concerned. But an issue was Voxic didn't really come alive with the AWP. He needs to be able to do so on a map like Mirage. There's a lot more room to roam around, especially on that T side. We know Inferno can be very restrictive, so let's look to those. And I would be very surprised if we can see GetRight and Dennis carry this kind of form through 2 maps in a row. They played a fantastic Inferno. I'd be surprised if they can do it again on Mirage.
Very smart play, and in fact, a lot of stuff going down within the B-bomb site in some of those rounds. I believe there was a 2v2.
There was a 2v3 where they were swinging off each other.
Which was, you couldn't have forecasted any better as someone on their way to 16. Isn't that right, Chad?
Yeah, well, you got to get that number to win the game.
Yeah.
Can we do any more broad strokes?
Would you like to? You want to get a broad stroke here? I'll hook you up.
So here's the thing. When we're waiting for these players to really get in the server and get this one underway, we're running out of things on Mirage to talk about.
Chad, here's what we need to talk about. The TV in the TV room. When you run by it, do you turn it off?
Yes, I do.
Because you weren't raised in a barn, Chad. Is that right?
Well...
True or false, Chad? Were you raised in a barn?
No, I wasn't. I was raised in a house.
I tell you what we should do at this time. We should bring in our commentators. We're going to talk to them a little bit before we get into the game because they have nothing better to do, and I would love to see them work for their money. And in fact, we can begin to do that.
I'd just like to get it.
About now, you know, guys, how has it been since the last time you're here at Pro League?
Well, what's changed?
Well, no, not what's changed, but like your entire lives, basically.
Oh, you want me to break down my entire life in a what, 30-second section? There?
Should it take much longer?
To be honest, it's probably easy. More stuff like this in different environments, stadiums.
Do you notice the dust change, Henry?
Not really much has changed, if I'm honest. Matt, have you got anything more interesting to add? I just do Counter-Strike. You do more interesting things in your
Do I?
Like racing cars and
stuff?
I
try to.
Ride a bike?
Yeah, I do ride a bike. Try to also. I do have a dog. She's awesome. That one's legit.
Yeah.
Cast some PUBG. Cast some sim racing. Did a stream since the last time I was at Pro League, actually. In fact, that was the last time I was at Pro League, actually. Yeah, here we are.
Yeah, how about we just get into the matchup, let you guys take it from here. We're going to Mirage, guys.
You guys want nothing to do with us already.
Just see you later.
Desk has gotten a little smaller.
It has. I think it's because we're missing the biggest man, Yanko. Trace doesn't need as much space, perhaps. Not quite as built.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
So it's absolutely fine.
And he doesn't have as much, his personality is not as large as Alex either, so it doesn't take up as much of the room.
Yeah, well...
Okay, that's a good point. We don't know if that is a negative or a positive.
I assume we're getting ready for the game and they throw it to us. Or maybe they're just throwing us under the bus.
Maybe. It's possible. They want to see us work for their money. They don't want to work for theirs. Like, I could see them taking the easy road out. That seems like something Chad and Trace would do. Yeah, throw that. Oh, I thought he was going to throw something at me.
Well...
He's throwing gang signs. I don't know what they mean.
They broke that down beautifully. I couldn't agree more. Freiburg on the server is going to get it done, apparently. I'm not sure what was going on there. But I will say, Voxic did not turn up whatsoever on the first map. He looked very quiet, and that's a massive issue. But it's a more AWP-centric map going into Mirage. It should be a place where he can actually get going here. It should be him doing absolute work on a NiP. They haven't got a dedicated AWP on that squad.
All 3 times tonight we've had Mirage as our deciding map, if you want to call it that. It's not really deciding, given that they're separate entities, but... Nonetheless, it's where we will settle things for NiP and for HellRaisers. Should HellRaisers win this, both teams will remain tied for third bottom in the league. The reason that is significant is for the relegation purposes. So keep in mind, this certainly still matters between the two. If NiP are able to win both, they'll give themselves a fantastic opportunity to escape that relegation mark as we get underway. Rez with 2 in the underpass. Great start. That's going to give me NiP in a 4-on-3. 5-on-3, excuse me, I can count.
Just about. And it will be indeed the A-bomb side. It's open as Voxic gets 2. Where is the CT presence? What's going on here? This is insane. It goes down to a 2-on-1 out of nowhere. So much action. Difficult to keep up as Voxic looks for the ace now. He could actually pull this one off. This would be absolutely insane if he does it. Forrest floundering, knowing he can't see the bomb right now. This could be a full defuse coming in, and he'll bait Forrest out. Just holding on for the 10 seconds here. Forrest is very brave to allow him 10-second window there, and still the fake defuses go on. This time another full commitment here. Will Forrest go for this? Indeed he will. Oh my goodness! That's one of the most incredible aces I've casted this year. That's unreal. We said Voxic had to turn up, and my god does he. That's absolutely incredible by him. What a turnaround. 5 kills in the round. They lost the first 2. He starts picking them off one by one. You think, oh, there's some consolation frags coming through. A chance for him to get warmed up, build his own finances potentially. No, he gets all 5. He wins out in a 1 versus 1 where he doesn't have the defuse kit. He takes down Forest as well, one of the greatest Counter-Strike minds of all time. That was impressive. Well then.
HellRaisers with the 1-round lead as a result of it. Fantastic start, all things considered, especially given that they lost 2 very early on. SM, meanwhile, holding out in the window with a smoke. Hasn't spotted anyone yet. They will spot players while jumping. Lekro again goes for this early AK. We saw this in the last map, or at least the last match they played on Mirage against Fnatic a little bit earlier on. We talked about it. The debate.
It still goes on.
Yeah, it seems to be that if they get a bomb plant down, that's the call they're going to make on the NiP side, is the hero AK for Lekro.
Sure. But it just means, like, if he gets them in a position where he gets the bomb down, and even they lose a round, he never gets another AK, right? If he doesn't, he'll be on pistol, the rest of his teammates will have AK. So as long as he gets, like, 1-2 kills, and maybe a bomb plant, that's great. If he gets nothing, what can he do? But he'll try his best. He is looking incredibly sharp right now. He's the in-game leader of NiP. I actually think it's sometimes more of an asset to be the in-game leader when you're in these sort of positions. You can play your team around you. Equal trades for now. Bondic's probably going to go down here. Somehow he survives. Dennis finally gets the better of him. 2-on-2. This is another round where certainly NiP could win. If they get the smoke down and a plant as well, what an investment that was for Lekro. He only gets the 1 kill, but still, it led them to this point. If Dennis gets the plant now, it could be enough. Oh, he's going to get it. Well, I think the plan was more important to him, to be honest, but he'll let it slip by, and Lekro will not be getting an AK for this round, but his teammates certainly will. They're going to buy all the same. Final map of the evening, ladies and gents.
Final map of the evening for the EU broadcast, we should say.
That's true.
We've got our NA broadcast team standing by. They're actually cleaning our green room right now, as is their secondary role.
He's joking, guys. Before you feel dejected, before you come on the broadcast. It will be Angel, though. Mopping them up. This is impressive. That's really clean in terms of the kills he picks up. And you can see why NiP are operating in this manner. They're trying to throw a span in the works, a very quick play with barely any grenades thrown. But they get absolutely taken down. And be Forest and Lekro to pick up the pieces. But what a duo that is. Will they be able to step up here? There's the first incision. Issa will be taken down. If they pull this one off, it'll be one of the most epic comebacks of the evening. We've seen a few of them, though, to be fair. A lot of them from NiP. A lot of time to work. We've just hit the 1-minute mark here. If they had a bit more utility, I might be more inclined to say they have a chance here, but they have 1 smoke and a flashbang. I would say with the money situation, they're better off saving, forcing next round, trying to fight back with 5 players instead of trying to go 5-on-2. But sure, you won't have much weaponry next, but at least you'll have 5 players up, a chance to have distractions and fakes. And what are they up to now? Are they actually going for this? There's a Molotov on the ground now.
Bomb thrown back suggests that they want to peek it at the very least. Lekro will lead the charge. Shadow is Bondic. He'll have the information from Boxic's early positioning. He's down to 21 HP. That lets Bondic slide out, but he can't contribute. He can't capitalize. Now they know where he is. He's going to try and fake that he's gone up the ladder, goes back down. They identify that immediately. And still they're trying to find the angle. Forrest gets Angel. Bondic was slow, but finally resounding as he holds his nerve and gets HellRaisers the 3rd round.
Indeed. It's Angel that really opened things up, though, but Bondic... a scrappy affair, but he holds his own in stunning fashion.
Stunning indeed. So 3-0 the score, back to pistols for NiP. They didn't do very well against Fnatic on this map. Let's not forget that. It was 16-5 in the end, but it could have easily been 16-13. Or excuse me, 16-3 or 2, I think it was even. It was 13-3 at one point. So it's not like it's been favorable for them. Lekro started off, though, great play on the Deagle, as typically is the case for Lekro. Angel and Issa, meanwhile, though, will take down Lekro and Get Right. Still 3 players alive. Forrest, Rez, and Dennis. So 1 kill only so far, and that's been traded as Lekro's gone.
Well, well, well. Voxic continues to apply pain. You can see Rez holding up with the CZ, but he's coming to life now. Watch out. Voxic's 9-1. He's mad. He really didn't enjoy Inferno. And we'll see ourselves with a 4-0 start here for the HellRaisers. NiP can't get going here. Get right after such a sensational first map. He is now on 0-4. Obviously, very early days. Can turn that around.
Turn that around indeed. Voxic, AWP, window. Not the place to go for it, but he drops down. This is exactly it, though. He's forced by utility. They talked about that at the very start of the night. You can't get the shot out of the window. You can potentially Molotov off the smoke that comes towards you, but as soon as you drop like that, no further support. Molotov to connector. He's flushed out. He's caught in transition, and that op is gone. Boom, done. See ya. They still somehow have this at a 4-on-4, despite all of that, but nonetheless, now being gone, they capitalize on A, and Dennis is able to swing in and take down Issa. Still, though, they find a fighting chance to get back into the round. In fact, more so than a fighting chance, they take the man advantage.
They absolutely do. It's going to be HellRaisers back in the driving seat. NiP just can't find an advantage here, but Lekro, he'll be in a position to win it. It's going to take the absolute brains and brawns, everything he's got. He's got 2 flashbangs, a Molotov, and 2 players towards short. This really doesn't look ideal for him. He'll edge his way in towards the site. But they're not spotting for him right now, so he actually has made an exit out of the apartments. He could go towards CT spawn here. Doesn't have to. Lekro doesn't anticipate both players there, though. That's smart, and that's why in these 2-versus-1 scenarios, you're better off positioning yourselves together instead of it being a separate 1-versus-1 and then a rotation. If you stick together in a key position like short on B, you have quick access to both sides. You can spot an entire one towards B, and if one of you goes down, the terrorist is going to assume it's clear, and you can just trade them out like that. That's the idea. Sure, you might still win with one person on A, one person on B, but still you're very vulnerable, I would say, at that point. So that's great play from HellRaisers. What a different showing this is.
We're sliding up inside of the apartments. It's Rez down below that's going to be watching in case anyone comes out the window. Shots out the window. Sometimes that works in reverse, but not always that direction. Molotov's down. They certainly know his presence is there. NiP desperate to get on the board because 5 rounds against them and not a lot of money. They've got to start getting this train on the tracks. Henry, get the steam rolling.
Yeah.
Shovel the coal.
Shovel it in. It's suddenly depleted so far. They have played 4 maps on the bounce tonight. It's difficult to maintain the focus throughout, but NiP struggling right now. Less than a minute. And Lekro's tagged up. They only have a couple of AKs here. A couple of Deagles too. Not sure whether this is going to be enough. We'll see. Bondic will find the initial kill. That's Forrest going down. So will do what they can with the UMP, and that is actually not bad at all. Gera needs to try and get this bomb down. They actually have an advantage all of a sudden. Lekro playing out of his mind as he gets 3 and the first round on the board for NiP. What a player. The in-game leader of NiP. Leading by example. 8 kills to his name. Gera gets his first as well with that UMP, an influential kill. Orb for Forest, but they need to avoid this reset. This is looking quite scary for them now. They give this round up, they're going to be left with almost nothing again on 2 players. They're just rushing A. It's going straight forward. They are that. Here we go, and it's actually a full eco, so they'll lose the first kill, though. This could get problematic with the CZ still towards Shadow. Luckily, it's taken care of, and HellRaisers allowed this one to go by. They could have bought into this. They really wanted to, but they've got a 5-1 lead.
Could have. Yeah, absolutely. There's no need to throw it away, but they definitely could have. You're right. That would have made things a little bit interesting. Goes to show how close NiP kept it, but bomb planted, get right backs away. Dead Fox on 23. 54 for Ange1. It's an Ange1 mixtape. Is that what they should call it?
Yeah, possibly. Do
you remember those?
I think
even in the UK, like the basketball trick shot videos and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And1 mixtape volume 13. That girl's gotten Dead Fox down. It's just on Angel, and he'll start to work inside of the site with the Deagle. Not really much to do in terms of winning the round. There's lots to do in terms of taking economy away from NiP. Exactly that. Great shot on Lekro. And if he forces them to stay around for the bomb's duration, he'll get further weapons removed, but they're going to be smarter than that and wise to it. Leave the scene and keep 3 players alive. So it goes 5-2.
It certainly does. HellRaisers, though, might have to take another partial investment, though. They will buy up into this. There's the AWP for Voxic, FAMAS for Issa. What's Bond going to go with? Probably MP5, something like that. He does get the M4 out. He'll sacrifice all his grenades, though. It's actually not looking too bad for them, but Voxic, we want to see him put on a bit of a clinic with the AWP. It's always so much fun to see him hitting shots. A very dynamic and aggressive player when he has to be. Still disciplined at the right times as well. Saw him pull off that ace in the pistol round. This guy's got talent. Whereas now, waiting in towards the B apartments. Nothing to be challenged just yet.
Voxic still waiting at connector. Forrest will brilliantly come around the corner and find Angel despite checking 2 other angles. He was very quick to read Catwalk as the threat, the legitimate one at that, and give the advantage to NiP, so perhaps finally getting the ball rolling. Who doesn't love a good rolling ball?
These are the questions. Oh, it's an ace split coming through. Man advantage for NiP. It's Angel that's gone down, and they're looking likely to convert this one. The CTs with no grenades whatsoever. All they can do is challenge and probe and hope for the best here, but if NiP plays correctly, which they are, they eradicate one risk and they challenge the other in numbers as well. As you can see, that's so effective when you have no utility to push them off, and you can see why it's such a massive part of the game when a team doesn't have anything and just the rifles. It can be a very difficult time for them. And it will be another eco for HellRaisers. So that flying start they had at the 5-0 has quickly been responded by NiP. You can see they're going to have 3 rounds in a row. Another eco, presumably 4. They might even find the clean sweep and get to 5-5. Lecro is watching towards the vent. Dead Fox, no business in challenging this. And might be taken down for it. He'll get 1, but eventually dropped by Rez. He was pretty much buggered wherever he went at that point. So, Lecro 11 and 7 really has been one of the key players this evening. Round 9. Getting quite deep in the first half now, but NiP on the bounce back.
Certainly are. Certainly are indeed, as they continue on weapons in their stead as well. There's certainly not on the HellRaiser side. Lecro, he'll already work his way to A main. Start probing out the site. Bondic waits in shadow. He's not yet moved his position. He'll stay there for a bit. There's no need to be discouraged or dissuade.
CZs, Deagles, 5-7s, no armor, no nades. NiP like a 95% chance of winning this round. It would take something remarkable at this point. They're so well equipped, they're doing such a good job of dissecting the map. Ooh, they've got shots as well. Oh, wait! That's the kind of play it took. If there was a 5-7 there was a 3-man spray down available. Maybe there's a bit more, but apparently not. Rez will take care of business here.
They're bumping into each other. Yeah, they not realized it. There we go.
Little hugs, not too bad.
Try hugs, not drugs.
Yeah.
That was interesting because the one shot came through Catwalk and all 3 players turned immediately. Like, well, that's pulling a tiger by the tail. But you're right, there was an opportunity from ladder room that could have easily been taken advantage of. Now it is just Bondic, and it should go for NiP. They do 5-4 at that, and 4 for Rez. If you're looking for parallels,
I am.
Are you? I like perpendiculars.
HellRaisers do concede 4 rounds in a row. That's on the precipice of maximum loss bonus, meaning you get $3,400 per player after losing 5 rounds in a row. It's to sustain you and get you back in the game. Make sure you actually have weapons. Valve did adjust the system recently, if you're not aware. If you're maybe a massive NiP fan, you don't follow the news closely. Basically now, if you lose the pistol round, you are given 2nd stage loss bonus as default, and you continue from there. So lose pistol, you get $97 per player, just on either side, doesn't matter if you're T or CT, just to negate the weight of the pistol round. Usually would be like a 0-3 affair, an advantage for the team that won the pistol. And now it might be a 2-1, you know? Might change things around. And it seems to be working out. There's been no major complaints, no one's really talking about it, which suggests it's all right. It's working. If no one's talking about it, it's all good. No dramas yet.
Yeah, sure. It's the silence is usually golden in that case.
Yep.
sliding back out. And destroying Forest, as well as Rez. Now he's coming alive. You said he was quiet on Inferno. That's much better for the AWP player on HellRaisers. As Lekro wants to work back up inside of Connector as well. Good response to at least get Voxic in return. So the AWP player now gone. Issa wants more though. Angel, he's got a shot on Lekro. Get right, next in line, and it's down to just Dennis with 5 HP. And that's not going to be enough to do anything really against HellRaisers. Still with 3 players alive, 6-4. They can maintain the lead, extend, in fact, it now to 2 rounds.
Well, it's something. NiP looks so convincing before. HellRaisers so flat, but this is the map that suits their playstyle more. Voxic and Issa, who's quiet right now. He's only on 4 kills. He's another star player of the squad. Flashbang deployed towards middle. Voxic looking to avoid the Molotov, of course, and he'll do so. Just a cheeky incendiary there, just to go towards the boxes. Flushing ETs out, making them uncomfortable. Some damage away. And it's the execution. You see 3 players making their way in very quickly. Bondic surely gets nothing out of this. Looked out of position, but he'll get a nice snap towards Get Right's head. It goes down to 16 HP, so gets away cleanly in the end. And now that's a play. Who's making that one? It's Forest, and Rez takes him down. No way. It was such a cool play. He gets the initial kill. His teammate takes him down, but it looks like he might be able to recover. Rez with Lekro. They have the bomb down. Certainly capable of pulling this one off.
Shot by Lekro. Takes out Angel. Swinging in, he'll find Bondic spraying, expecting that Voxic was actually trying to get close. Swing around the box. If he'd slowed his pace down, he may have done better, but it's still going to be a chance for Rez to swing back out. Voxic holding the angle. Rez knows he's there, goes wide. Voxic has it and has the defuse. Surely it's going to be close, but I think he's just barely gotten away with it. Just barely gotten away with it.
That's insane. That is barely. Wow. That's actually kind of nuts. That was right down to the last few milliseconds, I think. Did you see that list? I think it was on Twitter the other day, of the closest defusers we've ever had in majors. It goes from number 1, which is coldzera, with 7 milliseconds to spare, which is 1 tick. The next one goes right down to 100 milliseconds. You know, like
that much difference.
Yeah, like it's so mad if you look at the stats. Like, it's just 1 def. I can't remember the game, but it was coldzera with 1 tick on the defuse.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
remarkable.
Pretty cool. Nice little tidbit. I feel like HLTV should just have a page of those sort of stats, you know? Those little tidbits and stuff.
Yeah, a little trivia page.
Yeah. Anyway, here's Deadbox, and he's defending well on the B-bomb side. Great stuff for the M4A4. And the bomb not passing. Might be out of luck here, but they are fragging hard and pulling this one back as Voxic gets nothing done. Forest looks deadly today. It's going to be Bonded taking a lot of damage here, but still a 2 versus 1. Issa, who has done almost nothing so far, will continue to do so. And Rez will take him down. Very fast aimer. And you can see the NiP, why not operate like that? Why not send 5 people towards a bomb site, have a nice basic execution, get yourself on the side. They've got so many great individual aim stars in this squad. Why not? You've got like Dennis, Rez, Lekro getting stuck in there. That's an insane trio. You've got Forest coming into the midst as well. Get Right and getting stuck in. It's a great team in that respect. And I feel like operating in a basic manner is going to be very beneficial. They can chuck in those sort of plays every now and then. Why not?
Angel pushed up. See what he can do with that position at A main. Considering the weaponry, 5.7s to work with. Dead Fox, meanwhile, still over toward B. You mentioned it was holding well in the last round, and yet still they find themselves in a precarious position. A dilly of a pickle.
Yeah, you could always find yourself one of those. Delicious.
You could find one of those in you, too, if you're into some weird stuff.
Very weird stuff. We speak to Anders or something for that sort of thing.
Yeah, probably, to be fair. Probably has a stat for that on his HLTV page. Issa waiting, deagle in hand, headshot position for their walking out of lower, but it's not going to be that because Rez has already jumped up onto the ledge, and seemingly Issa now considers that angle as well. Smart in his own right, Rez, to get back around. He'll go now. Timing favorable because Issa's already relinquished the position inside of Connector. Smokes from both directions to allow Issa to allow Rez to get out toward middle without having to worry about the window position. Meanwhile, it's Voxic. We really have to watch. Oh my goodness. The scout nearly got the headshot because that was a crouch. Somehow it clips the shoulder instead. Dead Fox back toward the van. Knows the situation is dire as they've gotten very, very close. Toxic still holds on to get right. Keeps the scout in it. They're both tagged considerably. And Issa gets in position. This is falling apart. NiP, 2 players only left, but they've got the AK. Dennis pulls it back with 3. Finally dropped by Angel. It's Bondic and Angel against Rez.
He has to get that bomb first, though. Great Molotov to actually get in position on the site. Do the CTs want to wait for him to exit the bomb site here or try and rush him down? It looks like Angel's already made the call. He'll be pushing in with the 5-7. Getting the job done. Plenty of time on the defuse here as they recover the AWP, the AK-47. This was an eco, or a partial buy, I should say, for HellRaisers as they hold the B site. And it's NiP trying to operate in that same manner once again. The 5 players in towards the site. It was very chaotic. They get 3 kills for Dennis. That was a recovery as well. They lost the first couple. And as you can see, here's the Dennis sequence of events. Very crisp. He's looking much better this week, I would say, individually. But last few rounds of the first half.
Last few rounds indeed. It all leads to a brilliant second half. NiP achieving much better statistics this game than they did last against Fnatic. Fnatic as well, by the way, putting Sweden into disarray, is only 3 points ahead of NiP, which is what they achieved against them this evening. So, fact of the matter is, they're not far out of relegation either. It's
true.
Heroic just in front, then Space Soldiers, well clear of relegation at this point is FaZe, then Mouse G2 North. Big Astralis at the top of the table, it's Na'Vi. But HellRaisers trying to make sure that they stay in contention. Issa. He'll back away toward jungle, cover off window in case anyone wants to jump through. We can afford to do so because he's got a secondary player watching connector directly. Issa does read well and find Lekro, now rotates off, and Angel pops out to cover the other aforementioned position, brilliantly timed from the defense. They now find themselves in a 5 versus 2, make it 1 as Get Right falls to Voxic, and it's all on the Forest.
I don't think he'll be doing much of this one, I'm afraid. He'll be in a compromised position. The money is destroyed, but he does take down 1. He'll give it a go. Stay through, trying to get any sort of sound cue he can. Takes an aid to the face, and presumably a bullet as well. It will be bonded to close things out. That's round number 14 concluded. I don't know what happened in here. All of a sudden I can breathe. It's all fine. It's all gone away.
Yeah, it's different. My throat feels slightly better too. I mean, my throat's been wrecked since New York. Pretty sure I
couldn't actually
karaoke'd
really
it to death for life.
First 5 maps couldn't actually cast. It was just a nightmare. But
fine.
If it's whatever they've done, keep this up. It's better.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to have surgery. I got ripped the cord. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what's going on.
I'm just kidding. That joke I made about me being ill.
Me being dead.
Yeah,
slowly dying.
Just a joke. Anyway, final round. And it will be the 5 players again. They really are forcing the issue on this side of the map. And Get Right will be the sacrificial lamb. And he'll be taken by the Angel.
Angel indeed. Oh, but gone against the shots. This puts pressure on Dead Fox because they've already dropped in. He recognizes that and finds Lekro. It could have been compromised position based on the angles. Look at the damage that he's done. He should be able to close this out, but Voxic comes over just for good measure, and Bondic will eventually swing around. 10-5 at half in favor of HellRaisers. So the control, considering NiP had a slew of rounds in the middle that could have made things a lot more interesting and awkward. We saw that the money wasn't great for HellRaisers, but they played it smart. They could have forced when it was 5-1. They decided not to. And as a result, or excuse me, when it was 5-2, they decided not to. As a result, they have a much better end to the half than they could have had, and they could have had economic turmoil, and they find themselves in a great position.
And that's the easy choice to make, right? You know you've got a 5-1 lead. You give them 1 round up. Sure, you could force and maybe reset them, or you could look at the bigger picture and focus on your own finances and realize this is the best of 1. We make one of those catastrophic mistakes, we might not ever recover from it. So better just to take the full eco, let the round slip by, then get back on the horse and get it done. Here's the stats, and how is this such a disparity from the first map now? You can see it was Dennis and Get Right. They were flying the flag so high for NiP in the first, and now after the first half, they've got 11 frags between them. It doesn't make any... Counter-Strike makes no sense. It's difficult to keep up.
Well, I like our scoreboard at halftime. But it is our last half of the evening for the EU broadcast. I heard you're staying to work with the NA guys tonight.
Yeah, I thought help them out, free of charge. Get stuck in there, whatever they need, do the stats. Maybe do some observing as well. See what they need. That's not a problem. I'm not tired or anything, so that's fine.
It's good. You're still on the NA time zone anyway.
I'm still on the NA time zone. Unfortunately, just haven't been asleep for 24 hours. So that's the main issue.
I slept 21 hours. Well, no, actually, I did the math. I did it wrong. I slept for like 19 and a half hours last night.
That's got to be a record, man.
That's unreal.
That's like almost sleeping our entire day.
I woke up to use the bathroom once, and that was it.
I've never done that.
I don't even know why, because I wasn't that tired.
Yeah.
Insane.
I'm so bad at sleeping. Not my thing. Not my forte. 30 years in this, I've still can't really master it. Here we go then. It will be HellRaisers to switch over. They've got the lead, of course. The smoke will be deployed towards connector. Lovely little smoke that bounces all the way through, trickles down, and that's not a bad shot. You can see the skill on the server. There's something to behold today. Lots of crazy shots coming through, and Lecro adds to them. Nice work by him.
Very good work by him. 5 versus 2 for NiP. Make that 1 as they remove Dead Fox from the round as well. They're not done there because Voxic, he's still inside of the ladder room and they know that he's there. They'll hold off. They don't need to overcommit to it. They'll cover off all the angles, including window behind him. So it's really just his choice on how he chooses to die at this point. Take the right and honorable way and fall on the sword. You ever seen Equilibrium?
I haven't, no.
He like puts the sword down and like stabs them with his, like, penetrates through their side with his fingers into like a nerve that causes them to fall on his sword. So it's like he makes them fall on the sword.
No,
it's like one of the coolest finishing moves ever.
It sounds pretty wild. Oh, look at this setup as well. This is a good finishing move. 5-on-1. Got 3 little. Oh, let me go short. Res.
I wanted that to work.
They had their finishing move set up, but we're not going to see it. Final half of the evening, ladies and gents. NiP. Unfortunately, this game doesn't have that much gravitas attached to it because it's the
it does in terms
zone,
of
right?
Yeah, but it's the avoidance of relegation.
Sure, but we like the hype game. We want to go like NiP are going to the playoffs.
Unbelievable scenes.
It's difficult to go, and that's it. They might avoid relegation. You know.
They finally do something.
The classic line. That was you, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Said that disrespectful line a while ago.
I'm good at that. It's funny that he like never said anything to you about it.
Cool.
Yeah. Totally. Dennis takes out Voxic. Dennis very cool indeed takes out Bondic. And even cooler still takes out Dead Fox. Rez will get assist, so there will be no ace available, but Angel now in another 1 versus 5 will retrieve the bomb for whatever that's worth. Didn't get far from the Glock, but Forrest closes it out 7-10 as NiP start to inch their way back into this, the second half. Full save as we know it. Round loss bonus starting at 1 as we know it now to be. It's going to be guns brought out immediately for HellRaisers. So AK-47 slide.
They'll be coming out in full force, that's for sure. We know that much. 5 of them. HellRaisers looking to get going in the second half. They haven't really shown as much today apart from the Mirage CT side. That was excellent. And the replicates on the T side. Dennis, I think he's gone down. He does some damage. Two of them, to be fair, but it's a man advantage now for HellRaisers. And Lecro continues to look stunning today. Really, really strong play from him. Finding all the kills required. Get right, unfortunately, on the MP9. Remember, this is now the new bonus round. If you win the first 2, you go into this round like with SMGs and maybe some shotguns, a couple of rifles. This is the new bonus round now. If you can win it, it's fantastic, sure. But if you don't, it's not a big deal. It's you're still. It's a very similar mentality to what we talked about the bonus round to be before. Because like if you got 2 or 3 kills in that round, that would be considered a success.
Well, jumping up with Get Right to spot them heading toward his site. It is his site, but he's been evicted, and it's now 11 rounds for HellRaisers. So you're right, they don't quite get that bonus round, as you call it. You dubbed it the new bonus round.
The new bonus round.
The new. The penthouse.
I heard Jason saying it the other day, like I can see it hurts. It doesn't really make sense the term, but we've kind of coined it, and everyone's started saying it as well.
The bonus round.
Yeah.
I mean, what else are you going to call it?
I just made that up.
The Jaden round was a better name, but no one wanted to believe me.
Yeah, well, the Jaden round still is the thing. That's when you have only
all 5 SMGs. Yeah, that's right.
So it's still out there. It's just, that's super rare.
Yes, that's true.
Then you got the unicorn round where everyone survives. That's like one as well. Let's see, making sure everyone goes down. This isn't bad. NiP are actually fighting back valiantly in the second half. Forrest will confirm with the final kill, 11-8 now.
Unicorns are still alive, by the way. They just got fat, and now they're called rhinoceroses.
Why they're not? Why haven't they got rainbow hair?
You know, it's under the skin now. You know?
Okay.
They're just so big. They're bolded.
It's turned inside out.
Yeah.
All right.
They used to be French, now they're American. Just kidding. To all the Americans out there. It's all fun and games. It's all fun and games. Voxic, he's looking for a shot to sneak up Dennis. He is going to sneak up. And he's got more than just a shot. He's got 3 of them, all rather convincing. I was going to say all headshots. The first one wasn't. The last 2 were. Doesn't matter. Bombs down. And jumping up, he gets absolutely obliterated by a brilliant strike from Angel, but it looks to be another round for NiP to make this 11-9. So they're putting up a fight now, certainly. Angel, Deagle. Not quite going to collect against the boxes. That's forced. That will close out the round to now go 11-9. NiP getting closer, as I mentioned. That was the way it was always going to go. It's inevitable.
They absolutely are. Angel showing us what he can do with the Desert Eagle. It's not a bad shot at all. 11-9, NiP edging their way back in slowly. 10-5 down. Once again, they're doing it. They did this in the first map of the day as well. That was against Fnatic. For now, HellRaisers will have PT50s, Deagles, a couple of smokes, some armor. And now a missing player, Dead Fox, taken out of the equation very early on. Dennis to take him, fall back. That's job done as far as he's concerned. He's confirmed they are on eco. He's got the advantage. He's taken barely any damage, and he's fallen back successfully.
Main to mid will certainly do damage. But they'll speed up the pace, it seems. And Angel runs up top of the stairs, spotted by GetRight. That'll swing out Rez. Rez takes damage, but doesn't matter because they're both still in it. GetRight with a second as he adjusts his aim. Back from A main toward mid, he gets a third. GetRight looking rather convincing with the AK-47. And we now find ourselves all in double digits. Both in double digits. 10-11.
10-11. NiP, I've been
Actually, what time is it? It's probably well past 10-11. Actually, it's only 5 after 11.
11. Yes.
It's not bad.
Not bad.
Early night.
We've been here before till 1 in the morning, so this could be an early night. Get you tucked in.
And
back for another 19 hours of sleep.
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
Back
I could get
hibernation.
another 19 hours of sleep. Might shave down to the mo tomorrow.
Yeah, I would do it as well, but I can't actually grow any facial hair, so not really.
We might have a plan for that.
I thought you might. Maybe I could grow. Actually, no. I'm not even going to put ideas in people's heads.
Yeah, leave your pubes out of this.
Yeah. Hey guys, I've done this instead.
I swear it's a mustache down there.
This is what I've
Here's
done.
a close-up.
Yep. Just for charity, all fine. Anyway, HellRaisers with the lead still, but maybe not for long. NiP looked like they're hot on the heels. Voxic 20 kills. We wanted more out of him this map, and that's certainly been delivered, but he's going to have to find a bit more here. Only juice left in the Voxic tank. We will have to see. Dennis. Oh, watch Reds go down that. And that's a great shot from Forrest. He looked exceptional with the silence M4. Still a 3 versus 3. It's been such a back and forth game. A really raw Counter-Strike going on right now in terms of aim duels and players not being afraid to challenge and trade out.
Oh yeah, it's not been utility choke point usage. It's literally like brawling for position.
Indeed. And this might be no different.
Well, Dead Fox already with the position to at least inquire upon B. But then you can conversely say that Lekro can counter the approach from mid, and he's done exactly that. Issa goes down 16 seconds. They now know that they can rush it into B, though, because he's at middle. So a bomb plant is certainly possible. It hasn't, in fact, occurred. Molotov on the site will force Dead Fox out. Bondic as well. They try and find an angle. Dennis, that was a bit awkward, but still manages it with the M4. And Dead Fox behind the van now has to play against two which aren't yet together on the site. Lekro just arriving now in the apartments. Has left no choice but for Dennis to slow it down. And even then, it's Dead Fox brilliantly knowing where they both are and hitting perfect shots on the AK.
Dead Fox. That wasn't bad. He holds up towards this harbor. Look at this great first shot. The awareness, the pre-fire towards the kitchen as well. Really stunning job, and that's going to be an influential round. It maintains the lead, of course, denies the 11-11. Gives them a buffer. Sure, there's a lot of reset potential there, but at the same time, same story for NiP. If HellRaisers can somehow win this round with the little they have, they've got 4 AKs, a Galil, barely any utility, then they're back in position. So Dead Fox certainly has found them a lifeline here, and Angel will open things up, takes down a huge scalp. Lecro drop. Forest has been detected as well. He might be done for. They're going to jump out the window. If it's a clean kill, this could be it. It will be an equal trade, but still a 4 versus 3. Smokes down from both sides. Dennis knows he has to jump through and get towards the bomb side before it gets planted. He tries it, but that could be the end of the round in itself. They're going to have to save this orb. Like we said, Money's in a desperate position. And get right, he'll have to fall back.
Oh, they'll fall back indeed. Giving a 13th round now to HellRaisers. A 13th round on the eve of the 31st. Something about unlucky and hell. It all goes together with Halloween, I'm sure.
Something like that.
Someone clever would do that.
Oh, it is Halloween tomorrow, isn't it?
It's tomorrow. What are you dressing up as?
A mermaid, I think.
Really?
Do the mermaid, get out of the way. Everyone wants to see it. So, pull that with me. What are you doing?
Robin Hood.
Robin Hood. Nice. Classic.
It's not bad.
Trying to think. We should cosplay each other, like everyone else in the broadcast.
I can do it.
Swap places.
I can do it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
That would be a horror show in itself.
Yeah.
See who gets upset first. Who takes it too far.
I'll just wear all denim.
You're doing that today.
Like
you guys wear more denim than me recently.
Look, the shirt's cheap. It's easy to wear. It makes me look a bit like a drunk, so I wear it. You know, if the shoe fits. That's what I always say.
If the shoe fits. I brought my denim jacket with me for the first time in a while. I thought it's been a while now. Some of the key characters.
Yeah, you know, everyone's made fun of me. Maybe I can bring it back out and get away with it. I get it. I get it. You were sleeping on that.
Waited a couple of years. Now I'm back. It's a new one.
Let the emotional scar disappear first.
When we were doing Henry G days the last 2 years ago in Pro League, I thought that has got a bit far now. When everyone's standing up in denim. Might as well let that simmer down.
Yeah, let it blow over. It'll be a thing of the past soon.
This game could be a thing of the past if HellRaisers keep this up. They are looking great in the last 3 rounds. Managed to keep themselves well in the lead. Bit of a buff. They got 1 round in the bag in terms of a bye. Maybe it won't be this one though, because Dennis will get the first, Rez presumably the second. He had that lined up perfectly. He'll have to fall back though. Players all around him. Misses the no-scope, going to be punished. Dead Fox now back with the orb in his hand, and he is no stranger to the weapon. Absolutely epic shot by him. Detects a player towards the A ramp, and remember, we said this in the pregame. He used to be the AWPer in the squad. Everyone used to say, if Dead Fox shows up, this team is deadly.
Yeah, he's unreal.
He can be very good at this weapon. Not as consistent as Voxic, sure, but a dab hand in his own right.
He was an AWPer before. He replaced Oscar in this lineup, and I thought to myself, I'm not convinced. And he was amazing. Out of nowhere, not a player that I would have thought as a pickup would have been team-defining. And then they picked up Voxic, and he went to the rifle, and he still held his own. He's a very versatile player.
He's a classic support player now, right?
Yep, he's capable of anything.
Yeah, he's just... Respect to him. He's going to not win this round, unfortunately, for him. I say that.
Wow, that shot might have done it.
I thought, that's like, oh, I've got a chance here. If that quickscope connects, okay, fair play. But good effort, gets the bomb down at least. That's something. He had a great shot to keep him in the round and at least get them some extra cash here. So we said there's 1 more buy available. But NiP closing the gap. 13-11.
Fox tried his level best.
Look at this.
Wow. He had to shoot through his teammate. Yeah, Forrest got wrecked there, didn't he? So 13-11, NiP fighting valiantly to try and keep this alive. Get Right's cooled off a little bit in the second half. I say that, I'll check the totals here. Bear with me, Hank, standing by as we beam this one in from the studio.
Standing by. And it's B execution coming through. Dead Fox opens things up. It will be Forrest to try and answer back. He gets a dink. That might not be enough here. Rez will have to operate quickly, and he's smoked out. Good grenade. Don't think we'll yield a frag. Just barely the damage, in fact. Bombs planted. HellRaisers on the reset game once again. And Bonding might be out of luck here with a player towards short. He times it well. This is everything, this one. They either save all 3 weapons, or they don't go for this at all.
I did say that Get Red's cooled up. He's only got 9 in this game. Inferno, Angel, Bondic adding to their totals. High, and it's going to be HellRaisers now 2 from the end, leading the frag totals. At 22 is Voxic, so he's looking solid.
That's no money at all.
I shouldn't say he's alone, though. Forrest and Rez are there as well.
This is a force buy at 14-11. They've gone for it. SMGs and Deagles. Doesn't look good. HellRaisers looking to split things right down the middle. And that's actually good news for NiP. They did the same with Fnatic. They do the same with HellRaisers as well. It doesn't really help them out too much in their campaign of getting out of relegation. Obviously, points on the board is always good, but it's not the results they were looking for tonight. They wanted the 6 points, at least in one of these series. HellRaisers, I guess maybe not so much though, the most likely one. Recent form suggests HellRaisers might actually have the upper hand against NiP and Fnatic. But Rez tries his best, does the damage. Unfortunately, can't find the frag for 5 versus 3, looking for match point and maybe close things out. Earlier than I expected, I thought NiP had a bit more left in the tank. GetRay will push the Palace position, but I'm not sure that is going to be enough.
Well, back over to B. Bondic. He'll take the helm. He'll take the lead and walk in first. Walk in toward a player who's ready to try and strike. Lecro up close. Window ledge. Couldn't escape in time and certainly couldn't do the damage required to shut down this B take as GetRight is all that remains. He's over toward A, which as we now know is wrong. It's just wrong.
Just wrong. Well, NiP will just GetRight here. They've got no loss bonus, no residual cash, nothing to save, and it's a 5-on-1. It's really couldn't get any worse. Right
Map point for HellRaisers then, Hank. It could get a little better though, as he gets an MP9 to an AK. We can keep that, but it is going to be match point.
He does get the AK, you're right. Not all is lost. Most of it, but not all of it. 90%. Yeah. We'll see whether he can hold on to it. Angel's creeping around the corner like Jaws. I don't think so, unfortunately. It is the clean sweep. That is the money in the bin. There's going to be $2,000 per player. And I think I'm done with casting again.
Wow. It's a good thing we've got 2 very capable people standing beside you ready to roll because good riddance, Hank.
See you later.
Au revoir. I'll take this one home, don't you worry.
Go for it.
I'll fly the flag. Should even speedcast since everyone always at every event just wants me to do that now. That's all I'm good for.
Save it for a tournament.
No one.
Why don't you do that from November or something?
All right, maybe. Yeah, we'll throw it in for a goal. I'll speedcast an entire match.
There you go.
100K.
Put it on your list. Chad.
Chad's like, I'd rather gouge out my ears than put that on the list.
Deagles, MP9s, and not much hope here for NiP. It's going to take something absolutely wonderful from the likes of Lecro and Forrest. The keen pistol units. Obviously, Dennis used to be in that conversation. I haven't really seen much from him in a long time.
Since he joined NiP, really.
Yes, that would be true, actually.
And Forrest was the same thing, and he's on NiP, and he hasn't been that proficient, but he's got one with the Deagle this round.
Bondic trades it out. That should be it. It's a 4-on-3. You can see they're going to drop the smokes here. CTs actually have got a bit of wiggle room towards Kitchen. Dennis gets out at least. Let's see what he can do with this.
All right, where we go with that one, Hank?
I was ready for a big 2K coming in. We still got it, boys. But it is going to be the 16-11.
This is going to be the 16-11, and Dead Fox does so. And Hank, you are done with casting.
I'm done with casting for this evening, at least. We do it all over again tomorrow. We have got NA after this, but for now, HellRaisers will take the second map. That's going to be 3 points for both teams. Like we said, NiP did that against Fnatic as well. It helps them in their campaign to avoid relegation, but overall, I would say still they wanted to get 6 points for at least one of these games. You said 3 out of 4 would be great.
Yeah.
2 out of 4, not that exciting.
No,
guys.
especially when you split level with a team that you were tied with at the start of the night. How you doing over there, Ron Berg?
I'm thinking the 2 out of 4 comment not being exciting because I think we are the exciting part of this 2 out of 4. So
you're just roping me in with Henry here. It's not my fault.
Well, there's 2 of us and 2 of you.
Anyway,
let's get on with what is today's results because wow, that's really there it is. I'm not Ron Burgundy. I'm not Tom Selleck, but I do have all the numbers and the scores for you.
I love Lamp.
Chad, give me some numbers.
Basically, I think the highlight of this evening was actually seeing the North versus Mouse Sports game going toe-to-toe. These guys actually put on a bit of a show for us to kick things off. That was my most enjoyable match for the evening. I think as it tapered out, the Ninjas in Pajamas had better form than what we've seen from them online. They're going to be happy to split those maps that we've seen throughout. All in all, though, Australia's getting pushed by Wendigo is something to note. If you want to head on over to the secondary stream, that'll still be live. You can check out all that action on live.proleague.com.
That's absolutely correct. And you know what, Chad? More importantly than that,
tell me more.
Well, I guess equally as important would be the North American matches coming up. That's right. The road to Odense does not stop with us. It does carry on with the 2 matches, 4 maps over there on the American stream. That's right. It's going to be Cloud9 and Envious. Envious just having that little bit of talk about Semphis hitting the bench or the locker room, or a little bit of both.
The bench, right?
Yeah,
he lifts a lot. He lifts
quite a bit of bench, and then we do have a complexity in Rogue.
Yeah, MSL recently joining Rogue, so that's one to watch out for, see how they're performing. And then, Chase, tomorrow's matches.
Boom, tomorrow's matches, Na'Vi, NiP, FaZe, North, and Astralis.
More HellRaisers. See if they can continue blistering form that we've seen from them over the last, well, at least today. They started strong against Fnatic. If they can continue against a Na'Vi who dropped the map to Ago, that could be interesting right there. But I think tomorrow what we need to start taking a look at for all the viewers at home is the path to and the road for Odense, because we've only got 4 days left.
That's right. And it's going to go smooth and fast. That's exactly what we're anticipating here at the Intel Esports Arena. Of course, the show's not done, but we are definitely done. Got some sandwiches to eat and some hotel rooms to occupy. So make sure you stick around for the North American broadcast. They're coming your way real soon. Don't go anywhere.